It's Bum Slide Thursday. You know what that means, Abby?
No.
Okay, so this is Abby Openchain. She's our special co-host today while Luanna's off. Hi, Abby.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show. Normally you're sitting here as a guest. Today you're a co-host.
I'm so excited.
I know, it's fun. Luann made up this term, Bum Slide Thursday. So you know you got Wednesday is like the hump day? So you're kind of here.
Right.
So she imagines that Thursday is basically just a day for you to slide into Friday.
Yep.
So all you do
Got
on
it.
Thursday is think about tomorrow is Friday, tomorrow is
And
Friday.
nobody outside the Sioux would understand that reference.
Bum Slide Thursday. she used to say, I want to see you riding the city buses with your legs in the air and your feet, hands waving. Oh, I miss you, Lou. Come back to me, baby. But Abby, it's nice to have you here.
Thank you very much.
You're probably best known to our audience as a volunteer for Clean North.
I am.
Yeah. But I don't even know what else you are. I know you're a mother.
I'm in corporate communications. And
Really?
Yes. And I'm an avid photographer and gardener, a devoted mother of 2 grown boys, and a wife.
Now I know how Alex Trebek feels because I feel like you just introduced yourself on Jeopardy.
Does that mean I'm going to win big money?
Welcome to ONNtv. No. You garden?
Yes, I am an avid gardener.
I garden too.
Yes.
I never did until I bought a house.
It's amazing.
It's really
Yep.
what do you call that? Zen-like for me.
Oh yeah, it's incredibly healing to have your fingers in dirt.
Dirt.
It's good for you.
When I was younger, I never liked having dirty. When I would play outside as a child, if I got dirt under my fingernails, I would go inside and wash my hands. I didn't like having dirty hands. Now it's like if it's clean earth, there's nothing like it.
Absolutely.
Clean environment.
Yes.
Abby, I'm sure you have some things to say about the ferrochrome plant. You want to talk about that letter from the doctors, Abby?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know.
Yeah, so there were 22 doctors in Sault Ste. Marie who wrote a letter to the mayor and council, I believe, stating their concerns about the ferrochrome smelter and saying that they're concerned that doctors will leave Sault Ste. Marie if this plant becomes a reality. And my concern, as I am heading towards retirement and had always planned to retire in the Sioux, is if they leave, I have difficulty imagining young doctors with families moving their children to a city with a smelter. And so I'm worried about what healthcare is going to be like in 10 years.
So there's 2 sides to every story. Obviously, 2 sides of the coin. They're saying that, since the movie Erin Brockovich came out and since that story was told about what happened to that it was the whole city, wasn't it?
Right.
They were poisoned by the ferrochromes. The water system was poisoned. They're saying, there have been so many advancements in the way that we handle safety for the environment, but from my understanding, the bottom line was still that there's no ferrochrome plant within 20 kilometers of a populated area, like anywhere. Is that
well, I think there's one in Finland that is closer, but it's certainly not within the city the limits of a city.
Because 20 kilometers from where they're planning on putting that puts it at Pine Street. So that's not. I mean, we're completely within that range.
Yep.
That used to be the sort of the danger area, right?
Yep.
But now they're saying with advancements in the way that they handle the process and everything, it's a lot cleaner than it was. So, in response to the doctors, Mayor Christian Provenzano replied, nobody says that this is a done deal.
Right.
Basically, he said, we are not going to do this if we're not completely, assured that it's safe for our community.
Right.
And that is, we can still back out if we need to. We need to do due diligence to be responsible as far as business goes, and to weigh business with the environment. We've got to do due diligence. So.
Absolutely, and the Sioux does need jobs. And one thing that people should know is that NORONT is going to have a public consultation on October 23. The location has yet to be determined, but people should watch for details about that. If you're interested, you can attend that and find more about it.
We need to inform ourselves so we can make an educated opinion. The other thing about what I'm hearing from NORONT is that they are also open to a public discussion with those doctors.
Right.
That they would actually sit down with them. And so I think Dr. Peter Chow, was invited, and the mayor said he didn't say yes at the time, but maybe they'll revisit that. I don't know. But it doesn't sound like NORONT is hiding anywhere. They're willing to come out and talk to the community and talk to the people who are concerned. So,
which is important. So that's good to see.
It is good to see.
My concern, like I said, it could be the cleanest ferrochrome smelter in the world, but
if you're losing
doctors,
and their families.
So it's a valid concern.
Valid concern. Well, we're certainly going to keep on top of that.
Yep.
Other stuff in the news. Who's right now? Is it Thunberg?
Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg.
Now, this is a young lady who probably became best known for sailing across, doing the green trip.
Yes.
Where she sailed from?
Somewhere in Europe. I can't tell you exactly where the jumping off point was.
To North America.
Right.
And it was a completely green journey.
Yes.
Okay. So, and now she's making a lot of headways at the United Nations where she's...
Yes, she's going to speak to the United Nations. She's actually going to be in Montreal tomorrow for the climate strike there. Oh. And,
where was she speaking just now where Donald Trump was? Was that...
She was in New York at the UN.
That was a UN thing as well, right? Where he attended for 10 minutes and then left?
Right.
And then she spoke. Have you seen the viral video of her expression as he walked past her?
The stink eye?
The stink eye?
If looks could kill.
So she's 16 years old.
Yes.
There she is. There's a picture of her right there. She has autism, which it's Asperger's, right?
Right.
Is the form of autism that
which
she has.
credits as a strength.
A strength.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Okay. Fabulous.
Yes.
And I can see that because I do know people who have Asperger's, and there are some amazing things that they're capable of because of the way that their brain works.
Absolutely.
It's quite phenomenal, actually.
Yes. And it's my hope that one day we will recognize that people with Asperger's and autism are part of neurodiversity and not look at them as there's something wrong with them.
Right.
They're just wired differently than some other of us.
Looks like things are actually going in that direction because a really uneducated and ignorant guest on Fox News termed her as mentally ill. Now he's been banned from the show. Fox has come out and apologized. He hasn't apologized yet. Autism is not a mental illness.
No, no, it is not.
No, it is not. So, and also calling somebody, if I'm not mistaken, I think calling somebody autistic is not so cool because you're a person with autism.
Right.
Being autistic does not define you.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
So, political correctness, we're learning things.
Yes.
It's all about education.
Yes.
For Donald Trump then to turn around and say in a sarcastic way in a tweet, she seems like a happy girl, I hope she has a wonderful life, or something along those lines. Making light of it, making fun of her, bullying her.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
And meanwhile, her message is, go ahead.
I wish I was in school. I wish my childhood had not been stolen from me.
Yeah.
You know?
Shouldn't she be in school? Shouldn't she go back to school, go play with dolls? People are so horrible. And all she's doing is stating scientific facts, data, and expressing a concern as a young person, saying your time is up.
Yes, this is not somebody who is frivolous. She is laser focused, and she backs up what she has to say with science. She is not a frivolous person. She has done her homework.
She's done her homework.
Yes.
And she's scaring the bejeebers out of a lot of people, I think.
But also inspiring. You've seen the photo of her by herself in 2018, a one girl school strike, and now there are thousands and thousands of people around the world striking to bring attention to the problem of climate change. It's amazing. She started a movement as a teenager. It's phenomenal.
But to industrialists and to to people who have money involved in things that are ruining the environment or endangering the environment, that's terrifying.
Yep. Because
they see the strength in numbers.
Yes.
And they understand how much power youth have.
Yes.
Yep. So listen, Michael, no, I can't, I'm sorry, they're passing me notes and I can't read them, so I have no idea what's going on right now.
I have my glasses on, maybe
let's carry on, Abby. Who is the Canadian young lady who's now...
Autumn Peltier.
Has she picked up the copper bucket? So her great aunt was the water walker.
Yes. There's been a children's book written about her.
Yes. I had the author of that book on the show, as a matter of fact. So the great niece of our water walker is now going to the UN as well.
Yes. Her name is Autumn Peltier.
Autumn Peltier.
She's from Wikwemikong, unceded territory on Manitoulin Island, and she has been appointed as a teenager to take the place of her great aunt, and she is the water commissioner for the Anishinaabe Nation, representing many Anishinaabe nations across Canada.
So she's going down to New York, and she'll be there with Greta.
Yes. if you
So
will.
cool.
Phenomenal young lady.
We have more to talk about as far as the environment and the climate strike goes.
Absolutely.
But first, we've got to go to commercial, and then I'm going to come back with my first guest, who is an author of her third book, a local Sault Ste. Marie author. We'll have that coming up right after this on Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim.
Ford is a family-owned dealership that's been around with the Ford franchise since 1984.
What I love about my Ford, I love the technology. I love the way it rides, I love the way the seats hug me, and I love the control I have right at the steering wheel.
When they say that it's a true family atmosphere, it is 100%. They've been in business for close to 50 years.
Employee pricing is back. That means you pay what we pay for a Ford SUV, F-150, Ranger, or Mustang.
You pay
What we pay.
Absolutely.
Past year we've been celebrating our 65th anniversary, dating back to services originating in our community in 1954, which is quite some time ago. It's been a great opportunity this past year to recognize the pioneers, the stakeholders that worked tirelessly to create what we are today. I'm grateful for everything that the families 65 years ago and the people that assembled the organization have done in order for us to achieve the success that we're experiencing 65 years later.
Okay, welcome back to Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim and Maria Giuliano.
Yes.
I got it right. Just a little bit Italian, Maria. Now, I've known you for a number of years. I've
Yes.
seen you out and about around town. You're everywhere, and you're a 3-time author now.
Yes, I am. Yep.
Okay, tell the audience a little bit about your story. What happened to you when you were a child and how it changed your life?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, in 1980,
Yeah.
I was 5 years old,
Oh, goodness. Nice to be so young.
and I had open heart surgery.
Oh, my goodness.
And I had a problem, I had a complication,
Okay.
and I flatlined.
When you were 5 on the operating table, like?
Yeah, at St. Kitts
Whoa.
Hospital in Toronto.
In Toronto?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you obviously...
And then I
You came
woke
back
up.
to what? You came back to us.
I came back, and then I could see auras afterwards.
You began seeing so when you see auras, what do you see? Colors?
I see different colors like around you, and each color tells me a little story about you.
How did you learn about what the auras meant? Did you have to do research to find out what your gift was? To find out what the I would imagine because
Yes. I had to figure out which each color meant from my own perspective.
So question. So now let's say here's little Maria and you're maybe about 8 years old, whatever, a few years later, and you maybe start to realize, oh, when I see these colors around somebody, they're this type of a person. When I see these colors, they're that type of a person. When I see those colors, it tells me that this person might be going through. Did you start to relate personality types and conditions of people with the colors you were seeing? Did that
Yeah, it was sort of like that.
Okay.
For example, if someone was angry, then I would see fuchsia.
Really?
If someone had a lot of changes that were being made, and they were kind of going up and down the staircase, like they were indecisive.
Yes.
I would see a light orange.
So when did you actually start realizing, because you told me before the interview that you kind of thought that this was normal, that everybody saw this?
I did. At 5 years old, I didn't even know what an aura was.
Sure.
I just thought that everybody could see auras.
Right. When did you find out that it was a gift? Or when did you realize?
I actually talked to a Dr. Moody. He writes a lot of near-death experience books. He actually contacted me.
Really?
And he asked me what my gift was.
Cool!
And I told him, and he said, that is probably your gift.
That is so neat. Now, so you do readings and stuff. Is that what you call them?
I do sessions.
Sessions.
Because I am a peace and conflict kind of like a worker, a therapist.
You're sort of certified as a peace and conflict therapist.
Yes, I got my education in peace and conflict studies.
Then even just saying peace and conflict makes me feel more relaxed. You do this in a variety of places. You will sit and meet somebody in a coffee shop or a location where they're comfortable to do a session with them?
Yes, because a lot of people, they don't like to go to like the traditional therapists. A lot of them will feel more comfortable with sitting in a different atmosphere. Yeah.
Okay. So your third book.
Yes.
This one's called S.L.E.A.P, and it's S.L.E.A.P. Michael's. But thank you, Michael. He's put the poster up for you. Yes. S.L.E.A.P, which stands for
Spirits, Lives, Ego, Angels, Paranormal.
Now, tell me the story about. Is it Fidgal? Fidgal. Oh, I said it right the first time back in the green room, and now I blew it. Fidgal.
Yes.
Tell the story about your pen name being Fidgal. Where that came from.
So. When I flatlined, I saw a beautiful angel, and his name was Fidgal. So he's my guardian angel. I can hear him sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I branded his name. And when I channel write through him.
I know other people who do that too. I mean,
yes.
Yeah. So tell me about, what were the first two books?
Crisis of Spirit. When I was 6 years old, I returned back to Sault Ste. Marie.
Okay.
And I had a crisis of spirit because I went to a Catholic school, and they told me, the nun and the school counselor, not to speak of angels in heaven. And if I did, I'd be put in a different type of hospital. So I was a little quiet.
Whoa. Okay, so you wrote a book about that experience?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the first one.
Okay.
And that was ranked number 61 on Amazon bestseller list.
Hey!
Yeah.
Good for you!
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
3 years ago.
3 years? Wow, you've been busy.
Yeah.
Then the second book?
Direct Every Angel to Heaven.
Direct Every Angel to Heaven. What's that one about?
It talks about what I saw in heaven, about the book of library, and the choices that we make here are actually what we decided a long time ago in the other dimension.
So what are you sharing with us in this book, Sleep, that is now available where and how?
It's available on Amazon worldwide, and it will be available at Scott Coffee House.
Hey, our friend Sarah at Scott Coffee. She's in the Northern Avenue.
Yes.
The Value Village Plaza, Metro Value Village. Sarah's in there with Scott Coffee. Those of you who don't know, she's a local entrepreneur. She actually won that entrepreneurial contest a couple years ago through the Economic Development Corporation.
The pitch.
The pitch. The pitch. She won that one, and it's so cool because she's Sarah Huxon, and her Scott Coffee is located in Huxon Corners, where her grandparents used to have, or her great grandparents had an apple orchard or something.
Yes.
Anyway, so you're doing your book launch with Sarah Huxon at Scott Coffee. Thursday, October the 3rd.
Next week.
6:39. Stop by for a coffee, pick up a book, and talk to Maria. But so tell me about what the message is in this book and what you share with us.
So the message in this book is that everyone has a shifted reality. So what you see might not be what is there. There might be more things there.
There may be more to what. Okay.
Yes, and
so is it like reality different levels of being able to? How do you see what you see, and how come I don't see it?
So, for example, I will see sometimes spirits.
Okay.
So you might not see spirits.
Right.
So my shifted reality would be different than yours, but yours probably.
Do I have a shifted reality?
Everyone has a shifted reality. It's just what you see, what you perceive.
Okay.
But my shifted reality would probably be not accepted in society.
Oh, okay. You know what? I think sometimes my shift of reality may not be in society either, but that's a different thing. So, are you looking to help people who share your gift, or just inform all of us about what?
This is more of an informative
book, okay.
and
explaining sort of what you...
Right, it explains like your consciousness levels.
That's the ego, right?
The subconscious. It talks about dreams. It talks about angels, the different signs that angels will give you, or the people that have passed on.
So you are a firm believer that once someone passes on, they can still connect with you.
Yes.
There are messages, there are lessons, there are
messages, there's lessons, and in the book it gives you some examples of maybe what you have seen, and you're like, oh, okay, that's what it means.
This is really cool, Maria. And the paranormal too. Is that a different thing from angels and spirits?
Well, the paranormal it's called sleep because when you sleep, you actually sometimes will have paranormal events that happen.
Ooh, while you're sleeping.
Yes, like angels might come and visit you, or you might astral travel into a different dimension, or you might have different dreams.
Okay, this is fantastic. You need to get this book. Or just go for the book launch so you can talk to Maria some more, because I could talk to you a long time about this stuff. Okay, we have to go. Thursday, October the 3rd, 6:30, Scott Coffee, or otherwise, if you can't get there for the book launch, Amazon.com or .ca?
It's worldwide. And also at Scott's, they'll be carrying some afterwards.
Sarah's going to actually carry the book there.
Yeah.
Great, good luck with this, Maria.
Or you can go to my website.
info@fidgal.com, and that's FIDGAL. That's your spirit. You have a great spirit.
Thank you.
Do I have an aura right now?
Yes, you do.
Is it a good one?
Oh, yes.
I'm not fuchsia, am I?
No.
All right, Maria, thanks for being here. We'll be back with Abby after this on Mornings with Luann and Tim. Don't go anywhere.
This is ONNtv.
Who's home? Dad's home. And what's he got? Mouth-watering Little Caesars. Download Fido. Dinner? Consider it served. Little Caesars Ultimate Supreme Box Set. A 5-topping deep dish pizza with delicious Italian cheese bread. And I got it for $12. It's Little Caesars and a whole lot of tasty. Hot and ready.
Welcome to the Machine Shop, our historic venue and gathering place for friends and family. Built in 1899 on the site of a Northwest Company trading post. Today we are a go-to venue hosting many expos, concerts, weddings, and more. While you're here, choose one of our dining experiences. Enjoy a quiet dinner at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar, watch a game in Trywood Fire Oven Pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room, or treat yourself every day to gelato and local coffee at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop, visit machineshopinc.ca.
Whenever I'm booking Abby on the show, Abby and Josh If you haven't watched, you gotta watch. When I bring Abby and Josh on, I call it Talking Trash with Abby and Josh. We always have so much fun and we learn a lot.
Yes.
But you always request the later time slot because she's not a morning person.
I am not a morning person.
But you've done it this morning.
Yay!
Imagine being Luann. She gets up at 4:45 a.m. every day to come and do this job.
Sounds horrible.
I would think so.
Some people love it. Some people love getting up early.
She's always done that, though. I mean, radio should do the same thing. Okay, hey, our sponsor this month, State of the North. This is the day. It's the big day we've been waiting for. This is the actual 3rd annual State of the North conference going on right now at the Delta. They sponsored us this month. They are talking about, they've got 6 priority areas: Indigenous peoples, communities, demographics, economy, environment, and infrastructure. I wonder if they'll talk about the ferrochrome plant there at this thing. It's all about policies. It's like a think tank thing, and they bring all this stuff and they write a report and they give it back to people, and we're supposed to then figure out what we want to do for next steps for the community. So
exactly.
Be interesting to hear what they come up with at that. But anyway, thanks for sponsoring us this month, State of the North.
Yes.
We hope you're having a great time there today. We were going to talk about the climate strike.
Yes, evidently there's a climate strike tomorrow at Clark Park starting at noon. And if you want to make a sign, I'm told you can show up at 11 and sign making supplies will be provided.
Probably on recyclable material.
And it's very exciting because I looked last night on Facebook and it looks like there's more than 300 people who are either going or interested in going.
And this is at Clark Park. What
Yes.
time did you say?
Noon.
So you could go on your lunch hour.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
Yes. And I think it's a PD day for one of those.
It is.
Yeah. So
at least for the ADSB.
So maybe we'll have some would-be Greta Thunbergs showing up.
Right, some youth coming up
Yes.
to say we need to save our planet.
Exactly.
So these climate strikes have been happening all over North America, all over the world, right?
Yes. And Greta Thunberg started it. And first one was just her by herself.
Who's organizing the one here in the Sioux? Do you know who's responsible for it?
I have no idea. It just sort of mushroomed on Facebook.
Wow.
I honestly don't know who started it.
Do you think do you know much about it as far as will there be speakers getting up to, or is it just basically standing around showing support for acknowledging climate change?
Yes.
Acknowledging what's going on in the world?
Yes, making a presence, making a statement,
right, so
letting the community know that there are people here in Sault Ste. Marie that are very concerned about what climate change could mean for our community.
Okay, so for me, see, one of the things that's always frustrated me as somebody who lives in a city whose main employer was the steel plant for a number of years, and then also St. Marie's Paper.
Yep.
We were very much an industrial city.
Yes.
We were formed because of the locks and our location and the rapids and the power and all this stuff, right? So it was a natural progression to have industry. It's always been broken my heart that I can't go swimming in my river that is in downtown Sault Ste. Marie because of the sediment that's on the bottom, because if you stir the stuff up on the bottom, it's hundreds of years of pollutants and it can't be cleaned because it would destroy so much of the ecosystem. It just has to stay down there and we can't disturb it.
That's a creepy thought, isn't it?
It's a horrible thought. When I think about I always wonder, why is there no beach in Bellevue Park? Why doesn't anybody swim? We can't.
Right.
You can't disturb the wall. Even walking, you know the new waterfront center that they did down there by the tennis courts where ROTAC used to be now? Okay. Where that building is, and you can go off the dock and you can paddleboard and you can canoe. You cannot, they don't want you walking in the water. They don't want you that's why you have to use the dock. Don't disturb the sediment.
Right. It's
so
terrible.
how we haven't learned already that we've got to do better.
Yes.
Beyond me.
Yep.
If there's any question in anybody's mind.
Absolutely. And climate change is going to have an effect on water. Lake Superior is the fastest warming of the Great Lakes. So, that's a concern because that will cause changes in the ecosystem and what critters will live there.
And then, the other thing, even Maria was saying, we were talking in the green room before, and she was saying she's spoken to people and she's heard that the next wars will be fought over water.
Oh, right. If you don't think that the U.S. is going to be coming for Great Lakes water, think about it again.
They already did.
Yes.
The St. Clair. Okay, now that's another thing. I've always, remember the levels of were you around when the levels kept going down and down and down? And we're like, and I kept thinking, there's got to be drainage, there's got to be and then all of a sudden all the focus went to St. Clair, and when the whistle got blown, all the levels are coming back up. Now that could also be because everything is melting.
Well, if there's one thing I know about the Great Lakes is that the water level thing is very complicated. I actually read up on it recently when the water levels got really high, and it is a complicated system.
Oh, okay. So
it's a really complicated system.
So maybe I was wrong to just guess that they were stealing our water back then and the levels were going down. That's what I was thinking.
Well, you think about the fact we had a very wet spring, so yeah, the water levels were high, but we didn't exactly have a wet summer, and yet the water levels remained high.
Right.
Like I said, it's complicated.
It's complicated, people.
Water management is complicated. It's not simple.
So is hosting a show, isn't it? You're doing great.
Thank you.
We're halfway there. It's time for the news.
Okay.
So we're going to go to commercial. When we come back, Alex Parr has the local news and news from beyond.
See you soon.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
The Sault Ste. Marie Region Conservation Authority has issued a flood outlook statement. The statement is early notice of the potential for flooding based on the forecast and current water levels, which are much higher than normal. In a quote, according to the National Hydrological Service's Great Lakes water levels information, water supplies to all the Great Lakes were above average in August, and water levels for all Great Lakes remain well above average. Lake Superior has the potential to reach or exceed record highs in September should wet conditions continue. End quote. The authority is asking residents to exercise caution near lakefront areas as high water levels and or wave action may pose significant erosion, flooding, and public safety hazards. The Sault Ste. Marie International Bridge will be closed to vehicle traffic during the Sioux International Festival of Races on September 28th. The bridge will close to vehicle traffic at 6:45 a.m. and will reopen at 8:45 a.m. or as soon as the last racer clears the bridge, whichever comes first. The Sioux International Festival of Races involves a half marathon, bike race, and bridge run that all cross the bridge as part of their courses. This is the final planned public bridge event in 2019 that will require a temporary bridge closure. Conservative leader Andrew Scheer and Liberal leader Justin Trudeau unveiled plans Wednesday aimed at helping Canadians with energy-efficient home improvements. Scheer was in Quebec to announce a 20% refundable tax credit for eco-friendly improvements, while Trudeau said at an event in British Columbia that a re-elected Liberal government would introduce interest-free loans of up to $40,000 for green renovations. Meanwhile, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh was in Vancouver to promote his party's plan to crack down on money laundering and speculation in the housing market, while in nearby Surrey, People's Party of Canada leader Maxime Bernier talked about putting up a guarded border fence in Quebec to prevent illegal immigration.
As Prime Minister, I will establish the Green Homes Tax Credit that will allow you to lower your home's emissions through green renovations. This 2-year program will encourage Canadians to renovate their homes with emission-reducing technologies. With our plan, you will be eligible to receive a 20% refundable credit on your income tax for green improvements to your homes of over $1,000 and up to $20,000.
We will introduce a new interest-free loan of up to $40,000 for homeowners and landlords who want to make their homes more energy efficient. Now people will be able to replace those leaky windows or that old furnace, not only making their home more comfortable and lowering their monthly bills, but also keeping our environment healthy.
We're going to put in place a $20 million investment and a specific targeted approach to tackling money laundering, and half of that investment would go specifically to BC, to make sure we tackle that crisis and the money laundering that we know is going on right now. And secondly, we're going to put in place the beneficial ownership registry, which would effectively do this. It would ensure that those criminals that are using numbered corporations to hide their assets, to hide their ownership, they would be tracked and we would be able to clamp down on it.
And our solution will have a fence at the Roxham Road, just there, but instead of our RCMP officers being there and telling them, yes, you can cross illegally our border, you can come to Canada, we'll have our RCMP officer on the other side of the fence, and they will tell them, you want to come to Canada? You will come, but not here. Just cross the border over there, where everybody is crossing the border at an official port of entry, and you'll be welcome.
Austin Matthews says he regrets if any of his actions are a distraction to the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs Star Center made a statement Wednesday at the team's morning skate, less than 24 hours after news broke of Matthews facing a charge of disorderly conduct and disruptive behavior after an incident in his hometown of Scottsdale, Arizona, back in May.
Unfortunately, the situation we're in, regret, any of my actions that would ever, put a distraction on the team or distress any individual. I take a lot of pride in, preparing myself for the season and, representing the Toronto Maple Leafs as well as I can. So, unfortunately, due to the situation, I'm afraid I can't really make any other comments, but that's all I have, and thank you guys for coming out.
Well, yesterday, obviously, you're always disappointed. As the Toronto Maple Leafs, we really pride ourselves in doing things right on the ice, off the ice, and treating people. And so it's an unfortunate situation. Anything that goes bad, what you do is you take it and you get better as an organization, and it makes you a better organization. And so we got a close family inside, and we're going to look after Austin, and we're going to look after our actions.
We talked about it this morning. Obviously the issue is serious, but we know Austin. He's going to deal with it as it comes. He doesn't want to be a distraction. He's just going to play it as it goes, and we'll be there to support him. We know Austin, what kind of person he is, and how he acts, on a day-to-day basis. And this doesn't change things. We're his teammates. We're going to support him, and he's going to deal with it as it comes in.
Well, I'm not assuming they're true, but I think Austin's addressed, the importance of, like I said, not causing distraction or distress to anyone, whether that's within the team or anyone outside the locker room. Yeah, I think he's obviously knew there'd be a lot of tension around him today. I think he just wants to play and carry on like he always has, and just focus on playing and being himself.
A win, loss, and draw added up to a victory for the Montreal Impact on Wednesday night. Montreal defeated Toronto FC 3-1 on penalty kicks at BMO Field to win the Canadian Championship. Toronto scored in the 70th minute to give the home side a 1-0 win in the return leg that left the two-game aggregate final tied at 1. The Impact posted a 1-0 win in the opener of the home and away series in Montreal earlier last week. Montreal carried its late momentum into the penalty kick session, scoring on all three of its opportunities. Montreal will join Mexico's UANL, Cruz Azul, Leon, and Club America in the 2020 CONCACAF Champions League, which begins in February. Other qualified teams include Jamaica's Portmore United and MLS sides Atlanta United and LAFC.
Your education is everything, supporting your true sense of purpose. Here, you'll learn from professors who will understand you, who will challenge you, and offer you support on your journey. Here, you'll study programs built on real values: business, technology, science, arts and social sciences, always geared to make a positive difference. Here, you'll have a chance to assist in faculty research, leaving your mark wherever you go. Here, you'll focus on what matters to you and impact the world around you. Algoma University. Come take a closer look.
Who's home? Dad's home. And what's he got? Mouth-watering Little Caesars. Download Fido. Dinner? Consider it served. Little Caesars Ultimate Supreme Box Set. A 5-topping deep dish pizza with delicious Italian cheese bread. And I got it for $12. It's Little Caesars and a whole lot of tasty. Hot and ready.
If that didn't wake Abby Obenshane up in the next room, I don't know what will. Ethan, that was fantastic. Okay, so the cadets are back. If you, boy, they're back in full force. Joyce is here, Sean is here, and Ethan is here. Thanks for joining me today on Mornings with Luann and Tim and Abby. Joyce, what is your role with the cadets?
I am chair of the support committee.
Chair of the support committee?
Yes.
And Sean, you are
the commanding officer.
The commanding officer. Oh. And Ethan, what is your rank?
I'm a warrant officer in the cadet.
I've already met a warrant officer. You're the second one I've met. How old are you, Ethan?
I'm 16 years old.
16. How many years have you been involved with cadets?
I've completed 4 years. This is my 5th year now.
Whoa, okay. The bagpipes. Did you ever play a bagpipe before you were a cadet?
Nope, I hardly ever knew anything about the bagpipes before I joined cadets.
Okay, that was pretty impressive what you just played there, young man. How long have you been playing the bagpipes?
I started when I was 12 when I joined the cadets.
When you joined the cadets?
Yeah, it seemed like an interesting instrument, so I wanted to take it up, and I've loved it ever since.
And I'm sure your parents are thrilled. I know that. Oh, that's loud. Your grandmother's here. How have you enjoy the bagpipes, grandmother? It's a good thing you like it. Okay, so the lessons, the bagpipes themselves. Did you buy the bagpipes, or was that provided by cadets? Do they own the bagpipes?
You can get bagpipes provided by cadets. I wanted my own set, so I purchased them myself.
You did?
Yep.
But cadets will supply them because you take the lessons courtesy of cadets.
Yep. Everything's paid for. You don't have to have any music experience, whatever, or any of the equipment. It's all provided through the cadet program, including lessons and all the instruments you need to.
Is that the same for drums?
Yes, absolutely.
And you also mentioned, I did not know about the dancing. Tell me about that, Joyce.
Yes, we do Highland dancing through McLeod Dance Studio.
Yes.
We actually pay for the dance lessons, and again, we outfit the cadets that want to participate.
See, I didn't know that about cadets, that you provided all that training too. So it's cultural as well as, okay, let's pardon me, Sean, I'm going to just talk to Ethan a little bit longer.
Absolutely.
What other benefits have you found personally that you've gained from being in the cadets and now being a warrant officer?
Well, cadets provides you with a lot of skills. There's hard skills, which are like practical skills like canoeing, mountain biking, hiking. We do that all the time.
Yeah.
And it also gives you soft skills, so how to be a good citizen, responsibility, time management, communication, and leadership skills. So I found the cadet program has helped me a lot in those ways too.
Okay, boy, and apparently you learned to speak well when you're a cadet. That was very impressive. So Joyce, what is your role then? I mean, I know your title, but what do you actually...
So the support committee, we are we manage the funds. We organize when we collaborate with Sean and the staff, and we provide whatever they need for their events, whether it's marksmanship and we have to buy jackets for them, or scats for them to monitor their shooting, biathlon, race suits, skis. This is what our job is. So we manage the budget, we do the fundraising, and
what drew you to this?
What drew my children?
Were they were in the cadets?
They were cadets, yes. My 27-year-old son and my 25-year-old daughter, and I'm still with the program.
Obviously, this is something, Sean, that people become very passionate about.
They do. Most of our support committee are parents of current cadets or parents of past cadets.
Because they've seen the value.
They see the value. They've
experienced the value, or have they seen it?
What their cadets experience, what their cadets are provided, their children through that. So they volunteer to sit on the committee, then maybe they'll take an executive position on the committee in the future and remain with the committee after their children have left the cadet program at age 19.
So we saw the beautiful, your beautiful uniform. It's really gorgeous, but that is also, other than the shirt and the tie, the belt, I guess, and the medals that you earned, everything else, cadets supplies?
Yes.
Yep.
So they provide even like the hat, everything?
Yep, all through fundraising.
So that is, now we're getting to why you're on the show today, because obviously this can't happen unless the community helps out. You need some support, and the way you do that is to have the cadets around town for the tag campaign.
That's right.
Correct.
Yes, we tag twice a year. We tag in September normally and March.
Is this your major fundraiser?
It is our major fundraiser. Other than that, we have sponsors, the Lions Club and the Legion, which also we work collaboratively with. They give us our operating costs to start up in the fall.
Right.
And then we do poinsettia sales in November. We will be doing that.
Nice.
We do bottle drives. We did one in September. We'll do another one first week of January.
Bottle drives, do you go and pick bottles up, or really?
Absolutely.
Are the cadets involved in all this as well? Or?
Absolutely. Every fundraiser, the cadets have a role to play, because all the funding, all the money raised goes back into the program to benefit them.
So how many hours do you stand with a ticket box?
So this weekend we'll have 3 shifts. I believe they're 3 hours each.
Yes.
So that could be a total of 9 hours, and we all get volunteer hours. So
hey, that's cool towards graduating from high school.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So location-wise, because I've seen you usually at Metro, I see you at grocery stores. Can you name some places, Sean, where we're going to find them around town?
Just about every grocery store, retail outlets, Canadian Tire, Cambridge Mall, Walmart's one of our spots, a number of the Tim Hortons restaurants, you'll see the cadets there.
What time do they start? Will they be on patrol?
They'll start on Friday evening, 6 to 9.
6 to 9.
We'll be doing Friday evening shift. And then Saturday morning, they'll be back out 9 till noon.
9 till noon.
And then 1 till 4.
1 till 4, okay. So it's Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And what are you accepting? Anything? Nickels, dimes, quarters, toonies, loonies, bills?
Pennies, anything.
They don't make pennies anymore.
The Americans bring them over.
Oh, the Americans bring them over.
Find them. But anything anybody feels comfortable donating.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
There's no minimum. The cadets will not be soliciting. They won't be asking.
You don't ever ask, Ethan? You just stand there, and if somebody asks you, where does this money go? So if I were to walk up to you, Ethan, and say, "Hi, what are you about? What's going on with these tags?" What would your response be?
Well, it helps out with all of our activities that we do. For like our training days and stuff, we need to facilitate food and stuff. So that also helps with our activity days. Right. For our uniforms, mostly the band uniform, these kilts cost a lot of money. They're about $800 each. And that's,
excuse me?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like you're talking Kardashian here. $800 for a skirt. But it's a kilt.
For his full uniform, minus what we can get through National Defense, it costs roughly about $1,500.
Yeah.
Head to toe.
Yes.
Wow.
For one uniform.
You guys are expensive. It
very
costs a lot to
expensive.
look that good.
But you know, the community is very generous.
They are.
We've got great sponsors. The community support's amazing, and we get support from the district as well as the local community. You know, down the line, the areas.
All of Algoma.
Oh yes, all of Algoma. And it's amazing.
And if somebody is interested in learning more about cadets or has a youth, or if you are a youth interested, Sean, tell us again of how they can come. I know you've already had your registration drive, right? But can people still come by?
Absolutely.
Any Monday, is that what it
registration
is?
started on 9th of September, but we accept new recruits all year until June.
All year you take new recruits?
Every Monday we're at the Armories on Pine Street.
Yes.
From 6 until 9.
All right.
You can check our 2310 Royal Canadian Army Cadets Facebook page. For details, you can even message us on that page.
Fantastic.
There's pictures of the activities to see what the cadets do.
And, I mean, never mind all this amazing stuff locally. You've also traveled. You've gone to music competitions. Did we not have, like, drummers win regional competitions, our local drummers?
Our pipe band is a combined band with 155 Air Cadets.
Yes.
And how many years are you at now? 12, I think?
Yeah.
First place in Northern Ontario, first place in Ontario in the regional.
There's so many benefits to the youth getting involved with this. So there you go. If you're interested, find Sean Batchelor at the Armory on Pine Street, Mondays at 6 o'clock.
Until 9 p.m.
And if please, by all means, Sault Ste. Marie, support the Army Cadets when you see them out and about this Friday evening and Saturday for their you call it tickets?
Tag days.
Tag days. Okay. Tag days. Army Cadets. Always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, Joyce.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again, Sean. Ethan, what a fine, upstanding young man and talented to boot. See that? They do great work, these cadets. We'll be back on Mornings with Lou and Tim to say goodbye with Abby after this. Don't go anywhere.
I wanna let go. I wanna let go.
Since 1899, the Machine Shop has been a unique space for innovation and creativity. Once a leading pulp and paper company, the Machine Shop was built by Francis H. Clerg, which later became part of St. Mary's Paper in 1984. After the closure of St. Mary's Paper in 2011, the Machine Shop spent 4 years vacant. In 2015, the Machine Shop reopened their doors to the community for the first time. From weddings to galas to concerts and festivals, the one-of-a-kind venue has something for everyone. We are proud to work with the community and local nonprofits to host major events such as Festival of Trees, Pearls and Plaid, an evening at Hogwarts, and more. While you're here, wind down at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar for a quiet dining experience, or watch a game and try a wood fire oven pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room. Don't forget to save room for house-made gelato and baked goods at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop events, history, and restaurants, visit machineshopinc.ca. 3 great places, 1 historic venue.
Who's home? Dad's home. And what's he got? Mouth-watering Little Caesars. Download Fido. Dinner? Consider it served. Little Caesars Ultimate Supreme Box Set. A 5-topping deep dish pizza with delicious Italian cheese bread. And I got it for $12. It's Little Caesars and a whole lot of tasty. Hot and ready.
What did that wake you up? The bagpipes? Did you hear that in the next room?
It was beautiful. I love
wasn't it?
bagpipes. I love them.
My brother learned to play the bagpipes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, my father wasn't a big fan of it. He used to go in and my brother would like get them ready and then go in and blast my father's ear and wake him up out of bed in the morning. And it was,
well, I think a lot of people would say bagpipes are great, but they're better outdoors.
They're better outdoors, right? Okay, so just so in case anybody did notice, I always notice when I talk to you, you still have, after 27 years of being here, a slight American accent.
I do. Although when I go to the States, my relatives accuse me of having a Canadian accent.
You're from where originally?
Chicago area.
Chicago area, Chicago. They have a certain A, Chicago.
I am from where all the John Hughes movies were filmed. The Breakfast Club was my high school. I went to breakfast clubs.
Seriously?
Seriously.
That's cool.
That's from my high school.
Wild.
Yeah.
You came to Sault Ste. Marie. Your husband found work up here, so you moved.
Yes.
And did you raise your family here, or did you already have children before you came?
I had a 3-year-old when I came. My kids were raised here. My second son was born here. They're Canadian to the core.
Wow. So we were talking about having lived in other places, and there's one thing that you've noted in Sault Ste. Marie in your 27 years here that you think is pretty noteworthy, and what is that?
Sault Ste. Marie drivers.
From their tone and the look at the camera, I'm guessing that you don't think they're the greatest in the world.
Every single day I see people run red lights.
Really?
Every day. And people view stop signs as kind of something optional that
rolling
you just
stops.
roll through.
People do rolling stops a lot in this
and
city.
there have been some serious accidents recently, and I am concerned about the fact that people they seem to view red lights as kind of, all right. And somebody's going to get killed.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, a lot of people don't know that there's a new law that came into effect that you may not drive into a crosswalk until the pedestrian is completely out of it.
Wow. So even if they're halfway across the street and you're making a right-hand turn, you should not be going through that crosswalk until they're safely on the other side.
The law is now you must wait until they are completely out of the crosswalk. Because if somebody's walking a dog and the dog suddenly bolts, or somebody's walking with a child
and the child runs.
Yep.
We did a segment with school bus driver, Student First.
Oh yeah.
Really to listen to the school bus drivers talk about what they witness on a daily basis on the streets in this city.
Yeah.
People passing on the right-hand side of school buses. People driving up on boulevards to go around a school bus.
Yes.
To avoid having to wait for the kid to cross. Like. Unreal.
So what I feel like saying to the people of Sault Ste. Marie is allow more time to get to where you need to go and be more cautious. Come to full stops. Don't start sliding through an intersection on a yellow light or red light even, which I see all the time, because really somebody's going to get killed and you really don't want that on your conscience.
Okay, the other thing that I would like to say to drivers in Sault Ste. Marie is learn how to merge. I leave here and there's a designated lane to turn right from Great Northern Road onto Second Line.
Yes.
There's an island and there's a lane, and then that lane continues for, I don't know, maybe 10 meters, 30 feet maybe. There's a lane.
Yes.
The idea is to continue to move, looking as you turn to see where the traffic is. And if there's a solid line, you can't get in. But if people are driving like they should be, with spaces in between, you merge. You don't just stop there in the middle of the pedestrian crosswalk of the island.
Yes.
And you wait and you look like this. It's like, oh, there's cars coming, I can't go. Oh no. And also, if you're turning left,
yes,
stay in the lane closest to you when you make that turn. Don't go to the far lane. That bugs me so
illegal.
much.
You'll get a ticket for that if
they do it in Sault Ste. Marie. They do that all the time. They make their left-hand turn and they go to the far lane. Don't do that.
Well, and the thing is, I do travel, and for example, I travel because I'm from Illinois. I travel to Illinois frequently. When I go back there, it really drives home to me how dangerously Sault Ste. Marie drivers drive, because you do not see that kind of behavior in the Chicago area because there's too much traffic.
A lot of it is
literally die if you do some of the things I see drivers do here.
And a lot of that is because there are many people in Sault Ste. Marie who don't go out of town.
Right.
Who don't drive elsewhere.
Right.
I mean, I grew up driving in Toronto, so I'm ready for anything. Hey, I had a great time with you today, as always.
It was a blast. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks for filling in. KC Security, we want to thank you for sponsoring the show this month. As always, they are great sponsors of us. We love them very much. And if you happen to be out and about tomorrow, Friday, noon hour, go see Abby at the climate strike.
Yes.
Clerk Park,
noon. And have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow on Friday on Mornings with Luann and Tim.